Everyone thinks they understand offside. They don't. And the frustrating part is it is not their fault because the way offside is usually explained is wrong, not slightly wrong. Fundamentally wrong. By the end of this, you will understand it better than most people who have watched football their entire lives. Let's start with why offside exists at all. Because it didn't always. In the early days of football, there were no offside rules. A player could stand directly in front of the goalkeeper, wait for the ball, and tap it in every time. It was, in the most technical sense, legal. It was also, in every other sense, terrible football. So the rule was introduced to stop attackers from simply camping near the goal and waiting for easy chances. The idea was to keep the game open, to force players to work for their positions. In theory, a noble idea. In practice, it became the most argued about call in the sport. Here is what offside actually is. Player is in an offside position if they are in the opponent's half of the pitch and closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second-to-last defender. Read that again. The second-to-last defender. Not the last defender. The second-to-last. The reason is simple. The goalkeeper is almost always one of those defenders. So in practice, you are measuring against the last outfield player on the defending team. But here's the first thing nobody tells you. Being in an offside position is not a foul. It's not even a problem. On its own, standing offside means absolutely nothing. The foul only happens if the ball is played to you while you are in that position and you become involved in active play. If your teammate plays the ball to someone on the completely opposite side of the pitch and you are standing 2 meters offside doing nothing, the referee does nothing because you did nothing. You have to be interfering with play or gaining some kind of advantage from where you are standing. In theory, a player could spend an entire 90-minute match standing in an offside position and never once be penalized. That is not a strategy, but it is the rule. Now, here is the second thing nobody tells you. The moment that matters is not when the player receives the ball. It is not when they control it, or shoot, or score. It is the exact moment their teammate plays it. The instant the ball leaves the foot or head or chest of the player passing it. That is the freeze frame. Think of it like a photograph. Everything after that photograph is irrelevant. A player can be onside when the ball is passed, sprint past every defender in the world, and still be completely legal because the photograph was taken and they were onside in it. Now the third thing, the body part matters. To be offside, the relevant part of the body has to be further forward than the second-to-last defender, but not every body part counts. Only the parts of the body that can legally score a goal. Head, shoulder, chest, knee, foot. A player's arm does not count. You cannot score with your arm, so your arm cannot make you offside. This sounds logical, becomes completely absurd when you see it applied in real life. We will get to that. Fourth thing, the exceptions. There are 3 situations where offside does not apply at all. Goal kicks, corner kicks, throw-ins. In all 3 cases, a player can stand wherever they want. The ball is dead, the play is being restarted, and the offside rule takes a temporary break. This is why you sometimes see attackers standing right beside the goalkeeper at a corner. Completely legal. The goalkeeper understandably does not enjoy this. Now let's talk about the offside trap. Because defenders figured out that if offside is a rule, they could use it as a weapon. The offside trap is when a defensive line moves forward at exactly the right moment, deliberately leaving attackers in an offside position. Done well, it is one of the most effective tactics in football. Done badly, it hands the opposition a clean run at goal. The timing has to be perfect. Every defender in the line has to move together at exactly the same instant. If one player stays behind by even a step, the trap fails, the attacker is onside, and the goalkeeper is alone. This is a tactic that requires extraordinary trust between defenders and extraordinary nerve. Because the margin for error is sometimes measured in centimeters, which brings us to VAR. VAR stands for Video Assistant Referee. It is a system that allows officials to review decisions using camera footage. For offside, VAR introduced something called semi-automated offside technology. The system tracks players' body positions using multiple cameras and, in some competitions, sensors. It draws lines, very precise lines that freeze the exact frame when the ball is played and measure each player's relevant body parts against the defensive line. And here is where things get genuinely strange, because now we are disallowing goals because of armpits. A player's shoulder half a centimeter ahead of a defender's hip. A player's armpit fractionally beyond the line. Goal disallowed. The crowd erupts. The player protests. The decision stands. And technically, it is correct. In theory, this level of precision makes the game fairer. In practice, nobody watching in the stadium, or at home, or anywhere in the world could see that with their own eyes. The lines tell you it is offside, but you will never feel that it is offside. That gap between what is technically true and what feels true is where most of the anger around modern football lives. And it is worth understanding, because that argument is not going away. So let's bring it all together. Offside exists to stop attackers camping at the goal. A player is offside if they are in the opponent's half, ahead of the ball and ahead of the second-to-last defender. At the exact moment, only body parts that can legally score a goal count. Being offside is only a foul if the player is actively involved in play. Defenders use it as a tactical weapon with the offside trap, and VAR now enforces it to a level of precision the human eye cannot match. The rule itself has not changed. The way football is played around it has changed constantly. And now you understand why. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot.